Welcome to Understanding Diversity. My name is Kristen Kurganen, and some kids call me Miss KG. I'm going with the full cam so I can show you my room, since for parent night, usually you come in and just kind of see where your kids are going to class. So here you can see that we sit in pods here. That allows for us to keep a seating chart. I've got a colorful room, but actually I can't look at any of the windows. They really are false windows. So I have some pretend windows. That's like a live cam of Louisville, and right now I'm live cam of the Colosseum in Rome, because why not? But you might be wondering, like, how did this get on my kid's schedule, or what is Understanding Diversity? So I have a syllabus here that helps explain this pretty cool course. The district allows for Monarch to teach this class with some special funding, which is super fun. So diversity is a social studies class that's looking at underrepresented people. So where I teach US history, and I don't know when you looked around the room if you saw some of our heroes like Teddy Roosevelt or Lincoln, we are actually talking not so much about the white males, but about maybe the other people who are underrepresented in social studies classes. We talk about women. We're going to talk about people of color. We're going to talk about people of different sexual orientation. We're going to talk about people who have physical or mental challenges in our ableism unit. So it's looking at social issues. In fact, I told kids to say it's kind of like a sociology class, really, looking at groups of people. Where is the power, and why is the power with who it's with? So those are some pretty heavy topics. So to approach our study of diversity, we have to do some talking. We view films. In fact, next week we're going to be watching this really cool film called Crash to analyze race and identity membership. Today, in fact, we did kind of a tough discussion where we took an identity wheel and we tried to figure out where would we identify ourselves as far as sex and gender, class, race, national origin. It was hard to maybe place ourselves in those boxes. So a great novel that I use as an accompanying text for this class is Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. Because if you know anything about this novel, he was born in South Africa during apartheid, and just his very self being of mixed race, because his father was white and Swiss, was a crime in the country, and he had to kind of live a life of seclusion. And so it's a fascinating story, one that I feel is a contemporary topic, in that segregation in South Africa has just been so recent, really, for our world history. So let me stay on topic here, though. So other classes that I teach U.S. history, I teach geography. So there's a couple in here that I've had before, which is awesome. This is probably almost my 10th year at Monarch High. Almost 30 years teaching in the district, and I'm living the dream. I've always wanted to work at this high school, and so it brings me great joy that we're finally back in person, where I can actually talk to kids and not just through the Google. So that is awesome. So I'm looking forward to things kind of getting back to normal. And then let me see what else I can show you on my screen here. I've just recently tried to plan out the entire semester, because I'm pretty organized that way. So that's where the weekly agenda is, where I'm just going to be like week by week, what are we doing? And then the kids' response, since a lot of this is going to be internal for them, on what is their takeaway from our analysis of underrepresented people, will be in a digital journal. And so I'll have prompts that they'll respond to, journal questions from the novel, and this is really kind of their go-to spot for any of their reflection. If they're talking about something that's fairly private or personal and they don't want to share with me their journal, there is a way that you can hide the with view settings, so that I won't be reading anything that was like kind of a personal share for them. What are we going to talk about in diversity class? Well, we have a unit on, right now it's identity and social membership. Then we're going to go into race and look at racism. We're going to study class and social hierarchy with power and privilege. We are studying gender identity, heterosexism, ableism. I'm hoping we get to religious oppression, but there's so much that I want to cover and not enough time. Let me look and see. Late work, I take late work. So if you ever have a question about your student's grade and you're wondering like, can they still turn that in? The answer is always yes. And what else? Oh, my off periods, 3rd, 5th, and 8th. So if you need to get a hold of me, please email, and then we can maybe set up a time to conference if you'd rather have us in person. And I always forget to tell a little bit about myself. So sorry, I just launch into about the class and then I forget to even talk about me. So I love teaching. I've been doing this for decades now. I'm a couple years out from retirement, but it was super fun to have my own children, Hal and Meredith, attend Monarch. They graduated 2020 and they are actually finding college easy because this college prepared them so well, which I think is pretty amazing. Yay for them. Hal's doing mechanical engineering. Meredith's trying to get into business law. That is my husband, hard to see down there. That's Dave. He's a financial analyst, and he was working down in Denver, but then with COVID now has to work back from home. Those are my pets. What do I do when I'm not here? I love just being outside, and I've been saving for years, and I was able to buy this little one-room cabin up in Alma. So that's where I go on the weekends, but I did put in Wi-Fi. I used to love being off the grid, but now like I need to get a hold of people. So email me. I'll be at my cabin. And then how did I get out here? Well, a long time ago, I lived in Washington State. That's where I grew up in a place called Wenatchee, which is right in the center of Washington. And I came out originally was supposed to go to CSU for a soccer scholarship, and then I ended up going to CU for an academic scholarship. Go Buffs. And I also share with kids that a lot of my ideas about culture were shaped from living as an exchange student in Finland for a year. And that, I think, if anything, helped me appreciate my country even more. So this class is an elective. It is not supposed to be the hardest part of their day. It's supposed to be talking, light reflection, movie watching, and fun, and cake. I pulled to see what all their allergies are because I love bringing in food and I want to make sure that they're going to be okay with allergies. So I think that as I look through my list, I think that's everything I was going to share for parent night. I know we're going to be out kind of milling around outside, but I wanted to make sure that you saw what my class is all about. So looking forward to meeting you in person. Thank you for watching my video. Have a good night.